Hey everybody, I'm Kemp with Kemp Outside. We're your inside source for all things outside. So we just got back from our camping trip to Mistletoe State Park in Appling, Georgia. We had a great time and we've done some videos on how to clean your tent and how to get it ready for storage. And today we're going to talk about storing your tent. So most of the time when you buy a tent, it comes in a stuff sack like this. And this is a great way to transport your tent to and from the campsite, but it's a terrible way to store your tent. You don't want to store your tent like this because it doesn't allow the material to breathe. And being crumpled up, it can do damage to the barrier material that keeps your tent waterproof. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about how to store your tent and how to store your tent poles and make sure everything is good to go for your next adventure. The next part of this video is all about how to store your main tent. And so to do that, I use an action packer made by Rubbermaid. Any plastic tote will do. I use these for a lot of my camping stuff. It works really well. I don't put the lid on it. What I do is I basically leave the lid off, and what I'll do is I'll fold up my tent and place it in the action packer with the lid off so that it can breathe and that it's not, the material's not under any kind of tension. I make sure that there's nothing hung up on my zippers. In fact, I make sure all of my zippers are closed before I go ahead and fold my tent. So an action packer is a great way to store your tent, or a Rubbermaid container, or a plastic tote. Some people store their tents in any kind of breathable material, like a cotton pillowcase or those kind of things. Those also work well. I like this because I'm able to make sure that nothing is going to get in my tent or be placed on top of it or that kind of thing. So our next step will be to fold our tent. Okay, so for this part of the video, I've got my son Garrett again as my assistant, and he's going to fold this tent. So go ahead, Garrett. So what we do is we start with a corner, and we're going to take it up and meet the next corner. It's okay, tents are oddly shaped, so it's not going to be perfect. But the idea is to have it nice, folded and loose. Then he's going to do the same thing. He's going to fold it again. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold it again in half, long ways. And then we're going to do it again. Okay. And sometimes we're going to have to push the air out. That's a little normal. But we don't want it tightly packed, just nice and loose. Okay. And then we just pick it up and we put it in our storage container. Yep. Just like that. Now what we'll do next is we'll fold the rain fly and put it on top. And we'll leave it with the lid off so that it can breathe, and it'll be ready to go to be put in the stuff sack on our next camping adventure. So there it is, fully folded with the rain fly and the main tent in the action packer. As you can see, it takes up a whole lot of space. That tells me that it's stored loosely and that the fabric will breathe and that it'll be ready to go the next time we use it. So I hope you found this video useful on how to fold a tent and store it. It's very important that you do this. Don't leave them in their stuff sacks, just sitting in a closet or in a musty old garage or a dank basement. That's the fastest way to make sure that your tent isn't ready to go next time you want to go camping. Definitely store them in a cool, dry place. Avoid humidity if at all possible, and make sure that it's loosely packed and it can breathe. And your tent will give you years and years of excellent life and wonderful trips with you and your family. So with that, this has been Kemp Outside. If you found this video useful, please hit that subscribe button. Put any tips and tricks you have for our fellow outsiders in the comments. And if you have any questions about anything, put those in the comments as well. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can visit our website at kempoutside.com. Until next time, we'll see you at Kemp Outside.